Good morning, everyone, and welcome to my podcast. My name is Lynette. Today we're going to talk about feeling disconnected. Feeling disconnected is you don't quite know what's wrong, but you're not quite there socially, emotionally. All the things that life brings to make you have complete and total well-being. I'm going to give you an example of this when I had to move out of town for a while for work. It was kind of a long time. So when I came back, I feel like I lost connection socially with my friends that were here and even some family members that I used to hang out with that were close. In other words, things had just changed. But I couldn't put my finger on what didn't feel right. I found myself going to bed super early because there was really nothing else to do. And I just wasn't happy. Then my mother told me about this woman that had a computer that somehow detects what's going on with you. I guess internally, I don't quite understand how it all came about or how it all worked. But this computer came up with, I was feeling disconnected. And I never thought of it in those terms, but it was like, wow, that's exactly how I feel. I felt disconnected from the world. I mean, I was here, I was in place, but I wasn't connected with anything. It was just a very odd feeling. And I want to circle back as to what I did about it, because I really didn't know what to do about it, but life just kind of took me to this place. What happened was I got a job, and one day I came home from work, and there was a note left for me about they were making a movie in my hometown, and they possibly wanted to use my home. So I pursued it. I wasn't sure if it was legitimate or not, so I did some checking. It was totally valid, and they did use my home. But then from there, that got me interested in acting. And so from there, I basically got an agent, and then I started doing acting. Well, then I got sick, where my mobility was affected. And so it was like, oh my gosh, but that was one of those pull the rug out from under you moments. So I ended up going to a therapist because just too much was changing too fast. And she told me to put on a piece of paper, and I know I've talked to you in the past about an intention board. And I was to make like a pie, divide it up into sections, and put my most important priorities and so forth, everything I wanted to happen in my life. And basically, that was the beginning of my intention board. From there, somebody suggested, why don't I do voiceover, since I can't go physically into my auditions anymore. So I did. I started attempting to do voiceover. From there, I had a friend say, well, why don't you do a podcast? And I wasn't even really that familiar with podcasts. I didn't really listen to them. So I Googled it, worked on it. I had all the equipment already. And here I am. You can see how life directed me. And by that disconnect that I felt, got me going in the right direction. So what I'm bringing to you is that no matter what's going on, no matter if it seems like the rug is pulled out from under you, it is redirecting you. And although I can't even put my finger on trying to relate to you the changes that have been made in my life, but when there are changes that are meant to be, when there are changes that God brings to you, they're subtle. I mean, people ask me all the time, I'm sure they ask you too, what's new? And there's a lot going on. It's very subtle, but yet it's very positive. And as we go through life, it's full of peaks and valleys. It's not all good. And that's why I'm so happy that people are so open today and sharing their own experiences, whether it be on social media or television or whatever. Because in the past, people kept everything, they'd call it airing their dirty laundry. So they'd keep it to yourself, and then you have this feeling you're the only one going through it. But you're not the only one going through it. Life has ups and downs. It doesn't come and say, Lynette, go to the left more, go to the right more. Sometimes it comes in the form of, it feels like a loss that's steering you to the correct direction that you're supposed to go in your life. But as you start going in that direction that is yours, you'll also find that you're open up to finding your own niche, not only a niche in a career, but a niche in everything you like. TV shows that make you laugh, that only you like. And it doesn't matter if anybody else likes them. Certain foods that you find you like. And if that certain food makes you happy, that's great. Certain coffees that make you happy. Whatever it is that makes you happy. It doesn't matter what anyone else thinks. You don't have to impress anyone else with your likes and dislikes. In finding what is your niche in all things is exactly what makes you an individual. And it's exactly what draws people to you. And as we're approaching this holiday season, I don't know, to me, the holidays are a time of new beginnings. It's always felt that way. Maybe because we're celebrating the birth of Christ, which was a new beginning for all of us. Or I'm not sure what it is, but I can remember in my past, 1 year it was my love life. Then 1 year it was my career life. But nevertheless, it's like it takes you to a place where you can really zoom in on what you want your future to look like. It's like the whole world slows down. And you should too. You should take this time during the holiday season to really think about what you want your future to look like. Start your intention board. Sometimes it's just as simple as cutting out magazine pictures or wherever you can find a picture of the category that you want it to be in. Have a category for your career life, category for your love life, category for your health, category for your loved ones, whatever you feel is a necessary category. And that's a start, because when you put it out there, whether you look at it or not, it puts it out into the universe. I personally think it is a good idea to have it where you can see it every day, because it keeps your goals, your wants fresh in your head. To me, that helps put it out in the universe as well. But if you don't want it out to where people can see it, and you want to put it behind a table or whatever, that's okay too. It is still going out into the universe. This world is so full of different people, different kinds of people, and you're one of them. That's why not everybody is at the same store or lives on the same block. It takes all kinds of interest, all kinds of individuals, and you are an individual. And the more you find your own niche, the more of an individual you become, that you feel. And as you become an individual, there's this confidence, this whole shadow of confidence that comes over you that you can feel, because you become more solid in who you are as an individual. It is very exciting because you never know where life is going to take you. So if you are feeling disconnected in any way, It's just simply a nudge, a wake-up call to start doing something about it. And I think you can start with, for one, your vision board. For two, finding what your likes are, whether it be a hobby, a TV show, food, the way you like to spend your time. Look at yourself, zero in on yourself, make yourself the priority, and become that individual and walk in confidence that the world would not be the same without you here. As I said before, it's not always easy being redirected, but if we start looking at it as things that happen are a redirection, it changes your perspective of things. It changes the way you look at what you would have considered a bad moment. You will now consider as an opportunity to redirect, to advance to a higher level. And what better time right now with the holidays coming? Start thinking about the future that you want. Start thinking about you. Start thinking about what makes you happy. Really consider yourself. Really focus on you. After all, who loves you more than you? Make yourself the priority. And I think you will find the more you value yourself, the more other people value you also. It's like a magnet. The reason I wanted to share with you, and I do share and have shared so many things that I've gone through, is that with each time that the rug was pulled out from under me, I thought, oh my gosh, this is the end of the world. And then you get up, you dust your boots off, so to speak, and you keep going. And you look at the opportunities. And now I realize that you look at why it happened. What am I supposed to do? Instead of looking at it as poor me. Because we do have a choice. We can either be poor me or, okay, Lord, what do you want me to do now? What direction am I supposed to take? And sometimes there's a little bit of a dry area until you get that answer. But just know and just keep searching. Just keep doing your part. It's very important to do your part also. We do trust the universe. We do trust the redirection. But we also have to do our part. I think if you're not doing your part, you might miss the direction or the information that you're supposed to be receiving. You need to be out there. As I said, you're part of this community. You're part of this world. You're an individual. And so you as a person, you need to be open to what direction you're supposed to take, where you're supposed to be. And it's really so exciting. Everything we talk about is leveling up a little bit more and more. And it goes without saying that I know with each transition, it sometimes is uncomfortable. But as you look at things differently and open your mind to possibilities, it becomes easier because you're looking at it in a different way. There's so many different ways to look at things, and as you turn it around and start looking at things in the more positive way, it takes the stress off your body, it takes the stress off of you, it lets you heal, it lets you heal physically, but also it lets you heal mentally. So it's a win-win. So if you're feeling a little disconnected, what it is, it's just a nudge to say readjust, think about what you want to do, but be open to change. Be open to God directing you in a new direction. It's almost like having a blueprint for something. You know what you want. You can see it. But if things don't quite work out, then you have to change plans a little bit. And that's okay because you want to land on your feet. You want to be exactly where you're supposed to be. And what better time right now? I know that you have come a long way. I know because we've been taking all of this step by step. And it's so exciting. This is just one more step forward. But the big picture is, don't get discouraged. Take the negative thoughts that come to your mind. Like I know I shared with you probably a few times about I was going out for my birthday, and as people canceled, I was getting really upset. And then I just felt the Holy Spirit say to me, be excited about who is there. And I thought about that. Instead of dwelling on who isn't there, be happy who is there. Enjoy who is there. Otherwise, you're overlooking the diamond in all of this. The very exciting thing about life is you never know what tomorrow's going to bring. You never know what the next minute is going to bring. So get excited about that. Turn things around. When you think something's negative and you're looking at the downside, put a positive spin on it. Be open to change. Be open to those little nudges that redirect you. And when you're not resisting life so much, then you enjoy it more. And don't forget, make yourself a priority. Find the things that you really enjoy, the things that make you laugh, the things that make you happy. With that being said, I will talk to you next week. God bless. Bye-bye.